Alright, hello everybody. Today I want to explain essentially what's going on with the 1.8 hit registration bug. So Calvin here tweeted an hour ago saying a silent update ruined 1.8 PvP, now it's considered cheating when a single line of code is deleted. I'm talking about the super random cooldown what you get when you miss a hit while clicking over 10 CPS. Your sword literally stops swinging. This is new and is now considered cheating for removing the line of code that causes this. So ignoring the fact that it obviously isn't a silent update, it's impossible for them, Mojang, to push a silent update. Which Aspith goes on to explain down here. So I'll leave this Twitter tweet thing in the description so you can read it. Aspith explains it in good detail. That's not what I'm here to do today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain exactly what this bug is and what you need to do to cause this bug. Okay, this bug revolves around this variable here called left click counter. Let me begin by explaining essentially what this left click counter is supposed to do. This left click counter is supposed to prevent you from missing and then instantly like trying to mine a block. So go in game, swing like way up in the air, and then try and move your mouse like down and look at a block. You'll notice that the block doesn't start mining instantly, right? There's a delay to it. That is what this left click counter is intended to do. It is not intended to influence PvP or clicking entities, but it can, okay? Because if you notice, the check here that checks whether or not it's greater than less than 0 actually also influences attacking entities. But there's a caveat to this, and that is that left click counter actually gets reset back to 0 if you aren't clicking. Okay, where is it? Okay, here. This method here runs every tick, and if you aren't clicking, the left click counter gets set back to 0. So ideally, this left click counter should only stop you from hitting stuff if you have the left mouse button held down, not if you were like pressing it and then releasing it and so on. But, and this is very important, this method is only run once every tick. So this left click counter can only get reset back to 0 if you aren't clicking during a game tick, okay? This is very important. Let me illustrate why. So I'm just gonna write some numbers here. So say this is the first tick, second tick, third tick, fourth tick, fifth tick, okay, you get the idea. Say on this first tick, we click and we miss, okay? So now the click counter gets set back to 10. Now in an ideal world, you would not be clicking on this second tick, so it gets set back to 0. Then on this third tick, you would click again on the entity and your hit would register just fine, okay? However, the issue is that if you are actually able to unclick and re-click before the next tick. So say during this first tick here, we click, and now we unclick, okay, and now we re-click again. As I said before, this left click counter is only reset back to 0 during a tick, okay? So it is not reset back to 0, it's just decreased by 1. So it goes down to 9, and then you know, if this continues on, you'll see that this is where the hit delay comes from, because these hits aren't registering because this number here is greater than 0, okay? So the actual bug isn't that the hit delay exists, the actual bug is that lifting up your mouse is only checked once every tick, okay? Now, in the Twitter thread, Calvin said it's while clicking over 10 CPS. This is incorrect. As I've illustrated here, you actually need to click twice as, you need to click once every tick, so you actually need to click 20 CPS. Okay, you need to click 20 CPS in order for this bug to prevent you from clicking, okay? That's a constant 20 CPS, obviously assuming that you can actually line up your clicks with the tick, okay? But, and here's the big but, the reason why it can actually influence you if you are clicking 10 CPS is if you rely on something called double clicks. Essentially, double clicks when you click twice really fast in succession, and it's really stupid, it shouldn't be a thing, but like people just buy like fucking shitty $20 mouses and they like left click and then it's like, oh, look at this, I'm getting triple clicks on my mouse so I can hit 30 CPS. That is the bug, because if you can click twice within a tick like this and you're getting double clicks, you can essentially be clicking 10 CPS but still get the bug for a certain amount of time, right? Because you're clicking twice in quick succession, okay? That is the bug. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, how might Mojang or some client be able to fix this in a fair way? Well, all they would need to do is simply check whenever the mouse is actually released to reset this number. There's no reason why you need to check on the tick, right? They can just check whenever the mouse is released, you can reset it. That's what Mojang should have done, but they didn't, obviously. Essentially, don't double click and you're probably going to be fine, because again, it is very difficult and probably very rare, since you need to line up exactly with every tick. You need to click and unclick exactly between the two ticks. That is fairly difficult. And once again, there's no big scandal with like Minecraft trying to push people to 1.9 PvP. That's just a load of garbage. Anyway, hopefully this explains where the bug is coming from. Hopefully you learned a little bit of something. Yeah, see ya.